Hey everyone, it's Mojaxx, and for this week's tips and tricks I'm going to break down some of the cool stuff I saw recently at the Musikmesse trade show in Frankfurt, Germany. This was the view I had for much of my visit, staring out of the window of a shuttle bus. The various halls were quite a distance apart, and whilst most of the DJ related kit was in one hall, Hall 9, there were other companies I had to check out across the entire site. Musikmesse is a really wide-ranging show, covering everything from guitars to staging, which meant there was a lot of noise to try and drown out to get to the good stuff. Not literal noise though. One weird thing about the show was the rather low and heavily enforced noise limits. This was the first trade show I've ever attended where I didn't need to wear my earplugs, which is kind of good I suppose, but it did nothing to encourage a vibrant atmosphere. Musikmesse really is all about business, not fun. Some DJs managed to put on great performances despite the volume however, mostly at the Rain and DJ's Dream Custom stand, which saw DJs like Ray D and Richie Roughtone tearing things up. There wasn't anything new from Rain at the show, unless you count the cool custom 1200s created for them by DDC, but their stand was definitely the hub of the action in Hall 9 and the place where most visiting DJs ended up hanging out. Pioneer DJ had a busy stand as usual, with John First and SK83 taking to the turntables to demo the S9. Not much new product from them either though, with a few accessories and the SP16. This new standalone sampler looks very promising, especially with its ability to sync with a record box system over Pro DJ Link, but unfortunately the unit at the show was only an early prototype, not ready for full demo, so it seems like they've got a long way to go before we find out if the SP16 is worth its hefty price tag. Denon DJ was showing off their new MCX 8000, the unit which works with both Serato DJ and standalone via their engine software. We've got that in the lab on review right now, so we'll give you a full breakdown in a few weeks' time. Judging by the demos though, the unique pitch shifting controls have a lot of potential to excite an audience. Decksaver were there, quick out of the gate supporting new products as always. They had their new covers for the Pioneer Nexus 2 kit and an adjustable design for the Rain MP 2015, an interesting new direction for them. DJ Tech had their usual weird and wacky stuff on their stand, but they've always got some cool ideas going on. The most interesting product was the Q-Bar, a dicer-like device which is designed to sit alongside a regular mixer. As others have commented, I think they should lose the numbers, but apparently the pads are RGB and I think the design could work well for a lot of DJs. The Handy Cuts is clearly aimed at the portablist market, although featuring a mini inner fader means it will definitely need a power supply. Still, a fader like that in a minimal box could scratch an itch for many people. Hercules is another company that always brings a bit of quirkiness to trade shows, and I'm rather taken with their P32 controller. It ships with their dejuiced software, but I suspect it would make for the core of a rather dope tractor setup. We might take a look at that later this year if we can. German brand Omnitronic might be a new name to some of you, but I took a look at the first version of their TRM 202 rotary mixer back in 2014 and I loved the design, except it didn't really work. Now they've dropped the Mark II version, which promises to have resolved all of the issues with the original. It is incredible value for a high quality rotary mixer, so I'm very excited to play with the new one. Also on the Omnitronic stand was a whole bunch of cool lighting. I saw loads of exciting stuff in that area from companies like Chauvet too, and it made me realise that lighting has moved on a lot since my mobile days. Let us know in the comments if you'd like us to start covering lighting, because if you do, we will. I do think it's a really interesting area. There was a whole cavalcade of case manufacturers, and I got to check out some of the US-made Odyssey cases for the first time. Naturally, I was drawn to their 45 cases, but the whole range looks really well built, and it's good to see them doing more in Europe. UDG had a bunch of new stuff on display, including a new range of backpacks and a wide selection of colours for their classic headphone bags. The most interesting release for me though was the return of their original soft bag vinyl bags. These really did change the scene massively back in the day, making carrying a load of 12 inches a far more comfortable proposition, and it says a lot about the resurgence of vinyl as a format that UDG are reviving that line now. Their main competitor Magma had a number of new products. Again, they're always quick off the mark to support new hardware. Their new lighter weight backpacks look really dope. They had a hard case for the MCX 8000 and also one for the new Mark dashboard, the screens add-on for Serato DJ. We've got that in the lab on review right now, and the need to find a safe way to transport it was pretty obvious as soon as it came out of the box. New company Mixars were at Musikmesse too. They didn't have anything new to show, but it was my first chance to get hands-on with their range. It's all very good looking in the flesh and feels good too, so I'm really looking forward to our review samples landing. DJ Angelo was getting down on the Reloop stand, of course, which played host to a number of other great performances too. They didn't have a ton of new stuff, you can tell there's a theme developing here, but I was rather taken by the Mix Tour, which looks like a great Control-Z1 alternative. They're celebrating 20 years in the game this year, and to commemorate that, they're releasing 500 pairs of the RP7000 turntables in a black and gold colour scheme. Reminiscent of the Technics 1200 limited editions, the colour really is stunning in person. These are gorgeous decks. Sadly, we can't justify reviewing them as we already covered the 7000 in its original colour, but if you're in the market for a new DJ turntable right now, these really should be top of your list. Thanks to Reloop's partnership with Autophon, they had a gold Concorde cartridge to match, and Autophon themselves dropped some limited edition action too with their made from scratch carts. With the same specs as the pink scratch ones and limited to only 500 pairs, these will be hard to get hold of but look pretty stunning in their purple colour scheme. To wrap up, just a little bit of footage from the DJ's Dream Customs battle which took place on the first evening of the show. It was won by this guy, DJ DGP, and the whole night was proof that these shows don't have to be all about business, with all of the DJs and many of the industry people who were attending Musikmesse hanging out together for beers and beats. It was a highlight of the week, no doubt. Thanks for watching today. Most of this kit will be coming up in future reviews on our channel, so make sure you subscribe to ensure you don't miss out on any of those. I'll see you soon.